As an obstetrician delivering many babies a year, I'm often asked during consultations whether I think it's a good idea to store stem cells from the baby's cord or cord blood. I therefore decided to come to one of the providers, Smart Cells International, to actually find out what was happening here and whether we should think seriously about storing stem cells after the birth. I'm here at Smart Cells International to find out a little bit more about stem cell storage and what are the advantages. I'm talking to Dr. Anne, who's the Director of Science here. Can you just tell me a little bit about stem cells and why potential parents should think about storing them?
Yes, stem cells are absolutely remarkable. In the very early embryonic stages, they're capable of generating an entire human being. Going forward through development, they become more specialised, generating tissues and organs as the baby develops in utero. We retain stem cells throughout our entire lives, right through into adulthood. And in that setting, the stem cells are responsible for regenerating and repairing the tissues and organs in our bodies. So they have huge proliferative potential. We've known about this for many years, and stem cell transplantation has been around for some time. Initially, bone marrow transplantation to treat leukemias and lymphomas, for example, but the field is fast moving and it's developed massively over the last 20 or so years. So in essence, with that knowledge and the fact that the field is developing all the time, I would suggest that it's a worthwhile consideration for parents to think about banking their baby's cord blood as a kind of insurance for the future, if you will.
Can you tell us a little bit about Smart Cells International and how you came to be involved with them?
Yeah, Smart Cells International are a very long established stem cell bank, private stem cell bank. And I've been with them for the last 3 years. My career started in stem cell therapeutics some 30 odd years ago in the National Health Service. And I've been privileged to be in the field since the very early days of stem cell transplantation. I've witnessed and been part of a lot of the innovations going along the way to the point where we are now, and really the potential is immense now. But I retired from the NHS 3 years ago, and prior to that I was a consultant clinical scientist in the busiest UK transplant unit based in London. And when I was in that role, Smart Cells used to, from time to time, ask my advice on certain things. So when I intimated to them that I was planning to retire from the NHS, they asked if I would join them as their scientific director. And 3 years on, I'm still here.
Well, the NHS loss is Smart Cells' gain. Where can we find stem cells and how can we store them?
Well, as far as stem cell storage is concerned, and Smart Cells in particular, we focus on storing stem cells taken from babies' umbilical cord blood or cord tissue. These stem cells can be collected at the time of birth, just after birth, with no threat or ill effects to the mother or the baby. And the cells are brought to this laboratory, state-of-the-art facilities, where they're processed and frozen down at sub-zero temperatures as low as minus 180 degrees Celsius. The cells go into suspended animation and then can be thawed out under the right conditions and remarkably swing back into life and in effect start to do their work, regenerating tissues and organs when used therapeutically.
Like they've been hibernating.
In effect, yes.
Who could potentially benefit from treatments based on stem cells? Just the child or other family members?
Well, predominantly the child themselves. But in a family with brothers and sisters, there's a 1 in 4 chance for a match with another sibling. As far as the extended family is concerned, the odds of a match diminish dramatically.
Is there a chance that cord blood from someone who later develops cancer could not be used as part of the treatment?
That's a fear that's often voiced, but given the fact that some cancers are constitutive, by which we mean that the individual has a predisposition to develop the cancer, then it's possible that the cord blood could have some of the genetic flaws that might link to the cancer. On the other hand, many cancers are acquired through life, and therefore from viruses and so on. Yeah. So there would therefore be no indication that the cord blood might be in any way affected or pose a risk. However, in both cases, molecular testing can be done on a tiny aliquot of the cord blood that's been banked, just to check whether or not...
And look for that actual gene.
Look for the gene that might implicate that there's a cancer involvement in there. So you can in effect screen for that.
Right. And has Smart Cells International ever used cord blood or cord tissue for treatment?
Yes, indeed. We've used cord blood in 20 cases. We've released 20 samples. 9 of these 20 samples went to Duke University Hospital for the treatment of children with ischemic brain disease, predominantly cerebral palsy. More recently, excitingly, we've released a sample to help treat a small child suffering from autism. Other releases have been more mainstream, if you like, for the treatment of individuals with leukemia, thalassemia, sickle cell disease.
Right. And why should parents choose Smart Cells International?
Well, Smart Cells International, as I mentioned earlier, is a long-established private cord blood bank. We're a very high-quality establishment with state-of-the-art facilities, highly trained staff on board. We are regulated by the Human Tissue Authority. And moreover, we have, as I said, released samples to world-class establishments, and these samples have performed well in thawing, infusing, and have resulted in good therapeutic outcomes. So I can say that we produce a quality product, and we have a very transparent and caring ethos towards our clients through the entire stem cell banking and, should they need it, therapeutic use journey at the end of the day.
That's very reassuring to hear. Thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you.